Approaching 10 minutes to 8. It's Tuesday morning, you're watching breakfast, and over the last 3 years, Ruby Williams has been repeatedly sent home from school after being told her Afro hair, and this is a quote, must be a reasonable size and length, and it breached school policy for being too big.
Well, eventually, her family decided to take legal action. They've now received more than £8,000 in an out-of-court settlement.
Delighted to say we're joined by Ruby and her dad, Lenny, along with author Emma Dabiri, who's in our London newsroom. Good morning to you, Emma. Lovely to see you two in the studio as well. So, Ruby, what, to your mind, was the problem with your hair, which today looks lovely, by the way?
Thank you. It was a problem where when I was wearing my hair out, how I had worn it for years being at school, all of a sudden when I was in year 10, I was told that it was too big and it could block people from seeing the whiteboard behind me in lessons, which was crazy because no one had ever complained about that. There were tall people in the lessons and it was like, how is it going to block people from seeing it?
And this affected you, presumably,
yeah,
in lots of different ways.
Yeah, it was a thing where all of a sudden I was being told that I was going to be sent home if I came in with my hair out, but everybody else could wear their hair out if they wanted to. They tried to say it was because of science and PE, but I said, why can't I just tie it up for science and PE? But it had to be tied up all day for my hair, apparently.
So, Lenny, when you first heard that Ruby was getting sent home from school because of her hair, how do you, as a parent, react?
I was shocked. First, I thought the head teacher had an off day, and when it happened the second time, I was just amazed at, you know, the fact that the way he approached my daughter, literally, you know, in front of her peers and shouted in her face that she could come in with her hair blue, straight, for her naturalness is unacceptable.
Can I just pick up some of your points with Emma as well? When you hear what Ruby was told to do, what's your reaction? What do you make of those kind of decision-makings and rules, for example?
I think one of the things that's so shocking is the frequency with which we're hearing about these cases. It's happening at an increasing level. And it's so fundamentally wrong because the message that is being given to black and mixed children is that there is something deviant about them and that they have to change and alter their natural appearance in quite an extreme way in order to fit in and to conform to a school uniform policy that has been created and developed, not taking into account and not understanding the characteristics of Afro-textured hair and the maintenance, the styles that we are required to wear in order to look after our hair, properly.
And it's just, you know, you sort of allude to something there, you know, it's not just, it's time consuming, isn't it? You know, this is a young girl who was doing her GCSEs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's completely, it's just completely unnecessary. It's just completely distracting. It's not what the schools should, the policy is distracting. It's not what the schools should be focusing on. And there really needs to be, I think, asking black children and mixed children to make their hair resemble hair that is so different from their own, essentially for their hair to conform to Eurocentric standards is really the equivalent of asking, you wouldn't say that a child's skin was too dark and they need to lighten their skin in order to come to class. When they're asking us to change and alter our hair in this way, that is effectively a very similar thing that is being demanded of us. And really, our hair has to be protected. So basically, Afro-textured hair is one of the primary signifiers of being of African descent, and it needs to be protected under the law as a protected characteristic in the same way that skin colour and complexion is protected. One of the arguments I make in my book, Don't Touch My Hair, is that, yeah, hair texture is as significant as skin colour for people of African descent.
Let me read you what the school said in response to this. I know, Lenny, you've heard this, and Ruby as well. They say our policy on hairstyles is that we need to ensure health and safety standards, especially in respect of practical lessons in PE, which point you were making, technology and science. We ask children to tie long hair back, and we don't allow hairstyles which cover the eyes. We do not have any specific rules in respect to colour, length or style. We simply ask that children have hairstyles that are reasonable for school. Numerous schools and academies have more prescriptive policies than those adopted by the governing body at Urswick, and it's Urswick School who have made that statement and given that statement to us. I mean, I suppose they could say, why could you not tie your hair back as you have done this morning?
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing of choice, because if everybody else is allowed to decide every day whether or not they want to tie their hair up or have it out, why can't people that have Afro hair do that too? I was once told that I could have my hair bright blue as long as I made it smaller.
Right, OK. So just tell me a little bit about the sort of...
Something else that we hear is that basically it's all of the hairstyles that are normal for black people to do with our hair are being banned, not just in this school, but in schools across the country. So it's everything from having your hair out as it naturally grows, that's not allowed. Having it too short isn't allowed. Having it too long isn't allowed. Having it braided, having it in locks, having it twisted. Any of the styles that are necessary for us to maintain our hair are banned, and also just leaving it out naturally is also penalised. So effectively, we're being told that there's nothing we can do that is right.
Ruby, really quickly, because we're running out of time. And how are you now? You finished your GCSE, didn't you? You did well.
Yeah.
And you're okay?
I feel good now, yeah. I'm happy that it's finally being told, and I'm happy that now people are going to be able to make a difference in other schools across the UK now.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us, all of you. And Emma as well. Good to chat.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All the best with whatever you do next as well.
Yeah,
Are you in middle A levels at the moment, is that
Yeah.
right? OK, well, all the best for that, Ruby. Thank you.
you.
Thanks,
Good luck.
Lenny. Good to see you too.